And welcome to the We Like Sports podcast, the We Like Softball edition. Once again, I'm one of your hosts, Payton, alongside Adam, aka Crazy Shorts. What's
Hey, what is
and
happening?
today we end up having Bret as one of our guests today. Obviously, it's going to be a really interesting show to say the least. Bret in the cowboy hat, to say the least, and Bret's already in here. So at this time, we're going to end up welcoming Bret to the We Like Softball podcast.
Brett the Wild Thing.
Oh,
Oh,
and that's gone.
yep,
Well, we tried.
yep.
But anyways, though, while we're waiting for Bret to end up coming back in, though, it's been a while since we ended up doing the podcast. I want to end up doing my due diligence and say that you were correct and that you did end up playing until Sunday for the Cardiac Kids. So congrats to you guys for that.
Yeah, just not the finish we wanted. That's for sure.
Understandable. I mean, that's usually how it ends up going. If you're not winning it at all and you're making it to Sunday, you want just that little bit extra, pretty much. So it's definitely understandable. But like I said, at least you ended up keeping your word, and you guys at least had that attitude and that mindset, and it transitioned down to the field.
Yeah, and the competition was very good that weekend. And man, we came off of that Amish dub, the Amish high off the Amish pies. Man, what a feeling! Already 1-0 versus the Amish. Wow, this season is going well for me. I feel I am oh my God, we're so fired up, ready to make it go into the next weekend, the spring fling. So fired up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Wahoos are in it as well. I'm not going to be around, though, because of the new job situation. I'll be at a prom doing my thing.
Oh,
And
good
that's
Lord.
And now at this
That,
time, Bret is here.
that
We
ought
got
to be interesting.
now. 100%. He's here.
There he is.
Sorry, I had apparently internet difficulties.
Well,
Crazy ass fighting rodents.
Yeah, I was fighting animals, is what I was doing.
Chasing down some coons.
But critters, yeah, all of them.
I mean, how would that go for you, man? I see you. That's your thing, man.
That's phenomenal, actually. I actually just here we go. So I got an offer to buy my company or to merge with another company last week, and so I'm working towards moving and merging into another company. And so instead of doing what I'm doing, I got an unbelievable offer to join another company and be compensated beyond everything that I could ever imagine. So here I sit, and so
That's awesome.
I'll be 1/3 owner of a very large company, and then we're going to grow, and the goal is to go nationwide. It starting now. Actually, we're working on paperwork and finalizing details, and it's exciting. It's terrifying, but it's exciting. So
Hell yeah, man! Congratulations, you worked hard for it,
thanks.
man.
I do. I work really hard. Unfortunately, too many hours a day. So
Right. Well, I mean, hard work pays off.
it does.
So let's get a little history on you. Where were you raised? Where are you from? You from Ohio?
Nope. I grew up in South Carolina. Actually, I graduated from a little town, Whitmire, South Carolina. I graduated from a high school down there. I was 28 in my graduating class. So played
Jeez,
baseball, played
28.
football, and 28. And that was a large of the classes the year before us was like 15. So
I thought I
small.
went to a small school. I graduated with like 72 people, and I thought that was small, but you just put that to a brand new level.
Yeah, it's different, you know. And we had, I mean, it was a community school, I guess is what they called it. It was K through 12, and they had all the way down to, you know, first graders, whatever, all the way up to seniors. Now it was split up, it was on different wings, but it was all in one location.
And you mentioned you did play some baseball.
Yep, played baseball all 4 years, and then I had scholarship offers actually from Coastal Carolina was one that I had talked to and was talking to about playing baseball for them. I just don't marine biology was not my thing. I wanted to do wildlife and I wanted to do wildlife management, but science is not my forte. so
Right.
so so I ended up I found a school up here that
and then here I am.
Okay. So did you do any other sports besides baseball?
I'm sorry, you cut out there. What'd you say?
Did you do any other sports besides baseball?
I played football. Played football. Rec basketball, but I never played for a team and that stuff. And then I boxed in college. I boxed 3 years in college.
Oh, hell yeah. Wow, that's pretty interesting. I dabbled with it a little bit in my younger days. What position did you play in baseball? I don't know if we got that.
I was infield. I played shortstop my 9th grade year, and then sophomore, freshman, and senior year I played outfield, center field, and right field.
Okay, so that's where you get a little bit of that from, huh?
Yeah. So I actually, if I had an option, I'd prefer the infield. I'm fast enough where people don't want me on the infield.
The older we get, the least we just don't even want to go out there anymore. Period.
No, I don't. I mean, I love running. I mean, look, I love running, chasing, whatever. But it takes a toll on your body. So, but
I used to love past tense. I don't care to run no more. I'd rather just be the pitcher and call for someone to come run for me anymore. Especially when you got work on Monday, it's like, oh man, I'm trying to save my legs.
See, I'm the other way around. I wanna run the outfield, and I want to run for every person that needs it, and then I want to hit doubles and triples and in the park home runs every day.
Yeah, and that's what makes you like you right now. You just always come with this fucking bubble of energy. It just don't matter the weather. It don't matter. You're a hard guy to get down, it seems.
No, I am either all go or no go, and it takes a lot to get me down. And honestly, last weekend actually I batted terrible. Worst tournament of my season by far, and it was I think like 467. It was awful. Could not find the barrel to save my life. And like I told the guys, I'm like, look, I'm not having a great day. That doesn't mean you guys can't. I can bat 0. And if we are winning and we are playing and we are, we can keep the energy up, I can struggle all day long, but I will still be here and holler and support, and we're going to roll. And, we didn't do very well last weekend. It is what it is. But, you have tournaments like that. And honestly, it humbles you and it makes you, it helps you grow. If you can't learn to grow from struggles, then,
It's definitely a two-way factor, though, too. You being such a good team player like that, it don't just humble you; it humbles your teammates too. Just knowing that you're there for them in the time of need. If you're not doing well, it's just good moral all around. Truthfully,
it is. I mean, and look, let's be real honest. Softball's fun, right? It's meant to be fun. It's not always fun. Losing is not fun. But it's meant to be fun. And honestly, we only get so many years to play this game before we all hit an age where we can't play anymore. Right. And or a certain level, right? You lose that, and so I guess like I said, I'm either all go or no go, and I love to play. I love the game. I love learning more about the game, and I'm learning. You learn every day, and so if I can translate that and help somebody else, get better. And look, there's a lot of guys that are better players than me, better hitters, whatever. And maybe they don't know the game as well. Maybe they can hit the ball great, but like, hey, little tidbits here and there. That stuff people pick up on regardless. You can learn something from any age. It doesn't matter whether you're old or young. There's always somebody out there that's younger than you that still may know more about the game than you do.
It just depends if you want to end up listening to that advice or else going forward or not. That's the option you're given as an individual.
It is. And so what can you take from that conversation? Maybe you don't agree with everything that was said, but if you can take bits and pieces and like, hey, you know what? I like that portion. I'm going to use that to improve my game. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm a fast guy. I run. I like to go. And there's not a lot of guys that are going to beat me around the bases. And there's not anybody out there that's going to beat my hustle, and that's just that's my mindset. You know what? I may get thrown out 7 of 10 times at first base, but I promise you nobody's going to work harder to get first base than I will. And that's just my mindset. And now there's people out there faster than me. They may beat me there, but the effort to get there is you can't teach. You can teach. That is something that you can control. And that's what I tell people all the time. You can't control whether you hit a ball on the barrel perfect every time. You can't control whether you hit a ball here or whether you hit a ball there. You can try to place it. But what you can control is after the ball's hit, what do? You hit a ball on the ground to the pitcher, you're like, should be an out, right? I can't tell you how many times that I've ran and hustled to first base and beat that out because the pitcher's, he thinks the guy gave up, and he checks the guy at third base, and by the time he turns around, I'm 80% there, and then he's scrambling to get it over there. Maybe he makes that throw, and maybe I get out. Maybe he makes the throw, perfect. Maybe he throws it away, and I get on 2 or 3, and the other guy scores. So, that's, and I try to tell people that, like, know the game, try to be smart about things. And again, we all make mistakes. We're not all perfect, but man, that's something that, if I had to give advice, like, hustle's free. I say it all the time. Hustle is free, and and you're going to get a lot less flack, and a lot, even being a team guy, if you can hustle everything out, regardless whether it's, a good hit, bad hit, whatever, people aren't going to complain about that. They're going to have a lot less to say about it. If you hustle a ball out and you get thrown out, whatever, they're going to have a lot less to say about it if you're hustling.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and I've watched you do it numerous times. I've just been a spectator watching your games, and I've watched you hit it right to a defensive player, and in a normal sense, you're dead to rights, but you're fucking hustle flusters.
Correct.
They see you running out that box. Usually we're watching the ball, but in our peripheral, we fucking see you. And you've probably done it against me on the mound, or against the Dirty Boys, or against Cardiac Kids at one point in time. Probably hit it right at us. You just fucking flustered the shit out of us,
My problem is I hit the ball so fucking hard. They have the ball before I'm even out of the box.
Yeah.
Hit the fucking ball. I see them stupid. I'm like, fuck. And then at that point, you can either sit here and cuss about it, or you can run and hopefully they fuck it up. Yeah. And people do. I mean, shit, mistakes happen, or they worry about the guy at second base or third base or whatever, and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of guys out here. If you hustle and you run, it makes them second guess just a little bit, and either they rush that throw, or B, you just beat it out because they wait too long thinking that they have time. In reality, they don't.
Especially on routine pop-ups this year. I don't know if it's because of the weather. It's been real shitty, very windy, a lot of rain, and then if it's not, it's usually the sun is like directly in your eyes. So it's like I don't know if the outfielders are struggling this year with that, but I've seen a lot of botched balls.
A lot of dropped balls. We played in Dayton a couple weeks. It's been probably a month ago now. In one of the windiest conditions I've ever played in. And we played in Mojo this year, which the wind was insane.
Oh my God, that was a fucking terrible time.
Right. Fucking terrible, right? The weekend after that, when we played in Dayton, was worse. And when I mean worse, there were pop-ups in left field, left center, that were going from left center all the way across the foul line, so in Cincinnati, they have this, it's like a tunnel type thing that's all caged. They were going from left center field, which would have been just a base hit in general, a pop-up, and the ball was landing fair territory in the other field. The ball was blowing, it was 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. It was insane. It was the most in-fucking-sane thing I've ever seen. Balls were traveling 200 feet.
Yeah, I believe
they weren't curving that way. The ball it would just pop it up, and that ball was just woof. And so, and I'm forever yelling, like, run it out. Shit happens. Run it the fuck out.
Like
well, especially in wins like that, but even on a normal day, shit happens.
Yeah.
If you've never dropped the ball, props to you. I dropped them. The routine ones are the ones that I drop. It isn't the ones that are hard to catch. Yeah. Those you're focused on, the ones you have to sit underneath for 5 seconds and be like, God, just fucking get down here, right?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that get dropped. Whether it's confident or you're too cocky or whatever, and it happens. And so, right, hits you in the palm, maybe hits your thumb, whatever. But if you don't run it out and you cuss at it, you might get a double. If you hustle that, I can't tell you how many triples and in the park home runs I've gotten off of that on balls that are pop-ups. And I'm like, that ball should be caught, right? Or even if it's in no man's land, fucking run it. Worst case scenario, you're out. You're not batting for another 10 people anyways. Running the bases ain't going to hurt you anything.
Right.
Right. And so I run them out. And again, if they drop, I'm at least on second base and probably on third. Even if it is right behind the shortstop or the second baseman or whatever. It's, the bases aren't very far. And like I said, worst case scenario, you're out of breath by the time you're out. Best case scenario, you're sitting on third base waiting for somebody else to drive you in. So
yeah, the other killer for us this year has been when one of our guys will hit the ball and they think they hit it too good for that offensive ejection or that IEO. And it don't go. It hits the fence. They went from walking back to the dugout to trying to run to first. It's like, dang,
right.
And then ran it out. You've been on third. Yeah,
you've been on third base. That's right. And so
standing up.
And look, correct. Standing up on third base.
Yeah.
Standing up on third base. And look, our team is so talented, and I love the guys that I play with, and I think a lot of them, we're just there's portions that we're young, and there's I think a portion of us, there's, and it isn't, everybody wants to win, right? But I think, sometimes there's a lack of an edge, and it's frustrating to watch. And, and it's my job and some other team captains on the team is to get these guys like, hey, look, when we're down, when we lose a game, we play our backs against the wall. Good luck. We are tough to play. We are. Yeah. The problem, and we've talked about it every week, it's like, why wait till you lose one? Figure out a way to find that edge where your back's against the wall. We play with our backs against the wall. Teams aren't beating us twice. And if you do, good props to you. But honestly, we are tough when we play. When we play and our talent level is really good, it seems like finding that edge to where I don't give a shit if we're up by 1, 10, 15, 20. I don't care. People come back. I played with Vendetta. I played with Monaco. It's been probably 3 weeks ago, and up in Cleveland, and we were down like 17-1, third inning. I mean, they just put it on us, right? We came back and won that game. Yeah. 4 or 5 here, 4 or 5 here, 3 here. All of a sudden, close that thing to 5, and you just keep chipping away. All of a sudden, it's 5th or 6th inning, and they're like, "Holy shit, this team's only down 5 runs." And by that time, they've already given up because they thought like, "Oh, we have this in the bag." Yep. And then trying to find that motivation again is hard. So, there's no such thing as too many runs, in my opinion.
Let me ask you this question then too, because as you mentioned, one of the tournaments, winning one early on instead of being in the losers bracket, the one thing that not so much this year, but in years past, it's always the early games, the 8 o'clock games, the 9 o'clock a.m. starts. It always seems to be a struggle, no matter what team. It's always whoever's more awake and aware first, usually.
Yep. It is, and there's, we try to get to the field. We try to get a team before, like the whole team, try to get everybody there hitting BP. And honestly, and not everybody shows up, but that's stuff we worked on. Not everybody shows up, to those BP sessions. But I can tell you that the people that show up to those things are stretched out. They're warm. They've already we've already swung 30, 40, 50 times, whatever. You're loose. You're having fun at that point. You've worked out the kinks. You've worked out your bad swings. And so you start the game. We have 3 innings ahead of somebody else. Truly. It takes a couple times sometimes, especially early in the morning, 8 o'clock. Look, nobody wants to get up at 5:30 and 6 o'clock on the weekend. My thing is if you're gonna spend the time on the weekend, if you're gonna spend your entire day at a softball field, what's another hour? Mm-hmm. Suck it the fuck up and get there. but not everybody's like that.
Right.
So, but but you're right. Early morning games seems to be the caveat to a lot of teams. You lose one early, and then then you play your backs against the wall. It takes losing a game to wake you up, and and regardless whether you lose to a good team or a bad team, and bad teams obviously are always worse, but it's always any given team on any given day. You watch some big teams this year lose to teams that maybe they shouldn't have because they took them for granted. And it's the same thing with any of it.
Yeah, I know. I agree fully. And with the cardiac kids, for instance, at the Weekender, it was Sunday morning, our first game, and I don't even remember what team we were playing, but I do know it was the 4th inning, and we were 2 outs away from blowing them out as the home team.
Yep.
Just 2 outs away. We got 1 out on the hitter or something. It was perfect position. Yep. Next thing you know, they just kept hitting a couple base hits.
Yep.
So we start pondering upon ourselves. Maybe we should switch it up, go to a 4-man or something. No, let's ride cap out. A couple more hits later. Like, oh shit.
All of a sudden, it's out of your hands.
Like 3 or 4 runs. We're like, okay, what's going on here? Our center fielder went to catch a ball, and when he jumped, when he came down, he hit the back of his head on the top of the fence.
Ooh.
So we lose our center fielder. So, therefore we had to move our defense around a little bit. Next thing you know, we start the game back up after, the injury timeout. Fucking them dudes come back. Bam. It's like 7 more hits.
That's it.
Bam. Base hit, dude. Just nothing you could fucking do about it. Next thing you know, them dudes are up by fucking 3 runs and we lose by 1.
It
was like,
and you lose, and that's it.
Time limited at that. You know what I mean? So we're like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's it.
Up like 12 fucking runs. What the hell happened?
And we I think we played you guys on the Weekender. I
think it was Mojo, I think, was it? Yeah.
No, it wasn't Mojo. Nope. We
No?
did not play well at Mojo. It was the weekend before that, or maybe it was Arctic Wars. We played you guys.
Okay, yeah, probably that then. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. It was early. It was earlier, but in that same tournament, the same one with where we played you guys, we had station to station, and they're a good team, really solid squad, right?
Yeah.
We had them dead to rights. I think we were up 9 or 10, maybe 11 runs on them. Had them dead to rights. We were playing with 10 people. We didn't have anybody to rotate, and we were exhausted. I think we played like 8 or 9, 10 games, and there was only 10 or 11 of us there, and I was running for people. And I don't get tired like that. I was exhausted. On Sunday, I was dead. I was like, after
that was like the first workout really of the year.
Yeah. It was early, and I'm like, and I work out a lot, but I was done. I'm like, I can't run anymore. Like, I'm tired. Like, it hit me about the third inning. We played. Who did we lose to? I think we got third out of that whole thing. We lost to
I can't remember the Arctic War.
Oh, I don't remember, man. But anyways,
it was Nova and
no, it wasn't Nova. It was Hoodstar won it. Nova was in it. We were in it, and then there was another team that beat us, and I don't remember who it was. But we hit a wall, and we had nothing. We ran out of gas. We were just done. But it was anyway, station to station. We had them dead to rights, and they had one inning left. They were out of home runs. I was playing right. Guy hit a line drive. I think 1 or 2 people on base, and I'm watching this ball, and I literally, my hand touches the fence, and I'm like, this ball is gone, and that's it. Like, game over, we win. I'm sitting there looking at this ball, and it would have been the first out, and I'm like, this ball's over the fence. I let it go. It hit the fucking plastic on the fence and bounced down. And so we threw it in. They ended up scoring. They beat us by one. They scored all those runs, and we ended up losing. And it's like, going back on it, yeah, sure, you make that catch, and we win that ball game anyways. But you sit there and you think about, but it's the same thing. You let people back in the game. Whether you try to or not, you let people back in the game, and they're going to put it on you. They're going to hurt you. So, it's that. I was trying to play safe. I thought safe was letting it go. Like, that was the secure thing. Like, you know what? This ball's gone. I hit the fence. I literally backed all the way up to it, put my hand on it, and I'm like, yep, that ball's over the fence. And it hit like 2 inches below, the top of the fence. It hit like the middle of the plastic. And I'm just like, you got to be fucking shitting me. And then we had, but that led to a couple other errors, and all of a sudden they scored enough runs to get back in the game, and, they win it. And, props to them. They didn't let up. They kept playing. You kept fighting, and you win it. And then long term we ended up going further than they did, but it isn't the point. If we win that game, all of a sudden we're winners bracket finals, and we're playing Hoodstar, and we save ourselves 5 games.
Right.
If we're not tired, do we win that thing? And so it's lessons learned. That's part of the game. But it's fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, playing with 10 is the absolute worst.
Yep.
I'm mixed on it. I'm mixed on it, and Jacob and I go back and forth on it. I would love to show up at a tournament with no more than 12. Tops 12. The absolute top.
You have to have the subs. Have to.
I think if you have one or 2 subs, in my opinion, is all you need. If you have 10 guys that can run, 10 guys that can go. Bigger tournaments maybe, but honestly, you try to keep 15, 16, 17 guys motivated.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think, and then you got 4 or 5 guys or 6 guys or whatever, they're sitting on the bench that aren't playing, or maybe subbing in here and there. I just think it's a lot more to manage than if you have, again, I'm not saying you don't have them in the roster, but, playing with 17 is hard. Even 14 or 15 is hard, in my opinion. But
but also at the same time, with my counter argument with that is those hot days when it's 90 degrees, and like you said, you ended up having that marathon tournament that you guys dead come Sunday. If it's a lot hotter too, those 15, 16 guys can end up being a huge difference too, because you're ripping
absolutely, 100%. I mean, look, heat. I hate heat. If it never got above 65 or 70 degrees, I'd be okay. Like this weather right now that everybody's bitching about that they're cold, I love it. I love it. Don't change a thing. If it was net between 25 degrees and 55 degrees year round, sign me up. But but I'm a little different, I guess, on that. But you're right. The heat wears on people, and it wears on me at times. I mean, you get too hot, and you have to calm down. You have to figure out a way to cool down and rest. Otherwise, you get cramps or whatever. I just think that it's easy if you have 10 or 11 guys. It's easy to keep those 10 or 11 guys because you have 11 guys that are playing in the game, involved, and they're all engaged in everything. Trying to keep 17 in there is for me is the hard part. But it's not, none of all the guys are great. It's not an individual thing. It's not like I would, like, hey, I'm gonna lose, take you and you and you and you and kick you out. It's not that. It's, I think that if you can get a dozen people and maybe 13 to show up to a tournament, 13 guys that are motivated, that want to win, that are willing to do whatever it takes to win. I will take 11 or 12 of those over a roster of 17 or 18.
Especially if you have nobody else adding into it, chirping like, "Oh, well, this is my decision here. Why are we doing
100%,
this?" If you don't
100%.
question that, I completely understand where you're coming from because it's less amounts to end up answering questions for almost. I get that.
That's right.
Too.
Yep. And then the other side of it is like if you're struggling, it's always nice to have a guy like, and I told you this past weekend, I batted awful. Could not find it to save my life. And you have stuff like that. But if you have nobody else to back, to like, instead of, so I guess, my philosophy on it, if you have, if we only had 11 guys where I have to bat, but I'm not finding it, my job is to figure it the fuck out. In between innings, if I'm not batting, have somebody soft toss something to you. Something, figure it the fuck out. I'm not looking over my shoulder worrying about the next 5 guys. Like, hey, what about this guy? What about this guy? Oh my God, I'm gonna lose this. Instead of worrying about all that stuff, it's like, hey, how do I figure it out? And I do. Regardless whether there's 15 or 17 or 20 people, there doesn't matter. My goal is to be on the field as much as I can be, and however it helps to take, whatever it's going to take to get the team to where we win. I don't give a shit, whatever it takes. And so, I mean, I had my girlfriend at the time, this weekend, she was soft tossing some to me, and I came in the third game and I hit. Took me 2 games to figure it out, but she's soft tossing some to me, so I got some swings in between games. Or actually, it was in between innings. It wasn't even in between games.
Yep.
So,
just keep it
did some of that.
at the same time.
Keeping loose, and I'm like, God, I'm not barreling the ball. What am I doing? And then all of a sudden, you soft toss 10 balls, and you're like, hey, you know what? I found it. I feel good. I'm hitting the ball well. And sometimes maybe it's just a confidence thing. Maybe it's just seeing it. You're overthinking it or whatever. But like, doing simple stuff like that is, for me, makes a big difference. I like to be tangible things. I like to, physically hit a ball. I don't like weighted balls. Some people do. Some people don't. I prefer hitting them, a regular softball because it flies and it floats like a real ball versus a weighted ball where they fall in fast or whatever. There's fly different, So, but
yeah, I want to go back to the this conversation we're having about the whole. With my past experience, I would like to have 22 guys show up if I can.
Oh my God!
But there's
are you scrimmaging? Are you scrimmaging each other, or are you like in the same?
Listen, reason being, there is nothing more fucking intimidating than seeing a fucking army roll up to the fucking dugout. They all get out. They're all spread out. You're looking around. You're going, how many fucking guys do they got? You don't even know who's starting, who's the bench guys. You don't know what the hell's going on. And then during the game, these guys are fucking fired up. It seems like when one don't have energy, the other one does. They don't shut up. And then it's like – you even got to watch how you talk shit because you don't want to get beat up by fucking like, hold on, that's 2 teams against 1 team, so that ain't even fair, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then they're doing all these fucking substitutions, and so then you're fucking getting sidetracked on all this, trying to remember which guy hit where, and then you're like, hold on, number 32 hasn't even played yet, you know what I mean? It's a lot of head fucking going on already with that many people. It's just, like I said, the energy's already up. There's so many benefits, but as a coach – when I try to, it's all about role playing.
100%.
Letting everyone know ahead of time their role on the team. You can't have 22 guys showing up thinking they're the starter.
You get a starter, yeah.
That's when the issues fucking happen. But if you got if you have 11 guys showing up knowing their role, all right, this is your starter, this is the DH, you know what I mean, and then your subs know that we're all right. On the cardiac kids, we usually do if someone's like 0-2, they're usually getting snipped. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I think that's what Pew did this past weekend.
Like
if they're hitting missiles by somebody, like you're barreling the ball well, they're just unlucky and they're hitting right 2 people. We had a guy bat last weekend batted 0. I think it was 0. He went 4 for 4 or 0 for 4. And every ball he hit were fucking shots. I mean, barreled balls. And they made, some of them were right to them. There was 2 of them that were great plays, and 2 of them were right to people. They were missiles. I mean, 2 of them were caught like at the fence. You know, one was over the shoulder. Like, I mean, stuff like that. It's like, that guy's barreling the ball. I'm not taking him out. I got subbed out. I don't care. I was struggling so bad. I didn't care. And he's like, hey, you know, we're gonna have so-and-so hit for you. Okay. I'm not hitting it. Find somebody else that can. Like, honestly, if I'm not playing well that day and I'm struggling, I don't mind pulling out. So my job went from being like, hey, you know what? You're the hitter. You're the fast guy. You're a motivational guy. It changed. It's like, hey, you know what? You're not hitting well. So what can you do to help the team? And at that point, my job is 100% motivation, keep people positive, keeping your heads up. And there's, you know, me and 2 other guys on the team that were, you know, really good, maybe 3, you know, really good about, like, you know, hey, if I catch you with your head down, I'm gonna get in your ass. And same thing about the other guys. I'm like, if you see me put my head down, don't fucking sit there and watch it. Get in my ass about it. And I'm like, it ain't nothing personal. I mean, it is personal and it's not personal. Like, don't take it as a personal shot to you. Like, hey, wake the fuck up. We need you. Get back in the game. And it's that kind of stuff. It's a mentality. And honestly, we do really well with it, you know, as a whole, you know.
So well connected to the game and to the team and to your brothers that you're playing with, that they just don't like to let you down, let people down.
No.
When they get out, you know, they put all on their shoulders. I met so many people like that.
Yep. And I'm guilty of that at times. I am guilty of that at times. I am guilty of it. It's not that I want the hero. It really isn't. It really isn't that I don't care for the title. Like, oh, you know, he was the saving grace. He did this, he did that. I just want to do my job. Right. You know? And if I have 2 people on base and we're down 1 run, my job is to hit the fucking ball to where the third baseman scores. And obviously, if I sit there and think about it too long, I fuck it up. If I go up there and do my thing and just hit the ball where it's supposed to be and hit the ball where it's placed, I'll be fine. Start overthinking it, you screw it up. And it isn't hero ball for me. It is more of a, you know, there isn't like, hey, I don't want to let my team down. And, you know, I've hit the ball well all day. Great. You know, I tell people all the time, your last bat doesn't matter. What you did last inning doesn't matter. What you did 30 seconds ago doesn't matter. Now matters. You know, it doesn't, you know, what you did in the first, 4th, 5th, 6th inning, none of those things matter. Now we're down in the dogfight in the 7th inning. We're down 1. What you did the last 6 innings don't mean shit.
Yep.
Well, here we are. What are you going to do now? You know, and so, you know,
move forward, not backward.
It is. I mean, you'll never get forward if you look in the rearview mirror, right? Is that what it's something along that line, you know? You're never going to go forward looking in the rearview mirror. And it's the exact same thing.
When did softball start for you?
Right out of high school, I guess. I mean, I didn't start playing sanction ball.
So you played in South Carolina?
Yeah. So my first summer, I graduated high school in 2005. I started college up here in Ohio in 2005, that September. And so I played on a church league softball team in South Carolina. And I'm a big fan. I'm one of 5, so all my brothers and sisters played, and then my best friends obviously played down there. And we joined a church league team that won 0 games the year prior to us coming on. And my brother will tell you, the guy who was running it was an ego mess, but he would let, you'd have people play, and then you would rotate everybody out, and you'd start the other people, so everybody got to play.
Right.
And you'd be winning, and then you'd put in, the second string, and then you'd get railed. So it was a mess, right? And so we went from, that's when it started, I guess. We went from not winning a game to halfway through the season, people are like, we're tired of losing. So my mom took it over and was like, you know what? This is why we're doing things. So we rotated people in and out, and not everybody's rotated. Honestly, the 5 or 6 people that were really good, you didn't rotate those people. Everybody else rotated, and they didn't give a shit because we were winning. We won the whole thing. Thing. And so
winning
so we did
solves a lot of things.
Huh?
Winning solves a lot of things.
Sure does. A lot of those egos go out the door. People don't give a shit if you're winning, and and they're still being a part of it. They're still getting to bat. They're still getting to play. But honestly, you're playing more. And I tell people that all the time. It's like, long term, like, you don't think of 1, 2, 3 games as long term. You think about the course of a tournament, you may play, 6 to 15 games, really probably 6 to 10, 12, whatever. Over the course of 6 to 12 games, you may not play and start every game, right? But if you're rotating in and out, you're getting more playing time and more experience by playing 6, 8, 10 games, and you're still getting more time than you would if you were to start only for 3 games. Play 3 games, you're in and out, and honestly, you go 1 and 2, whatever, and you're out. Well, or you go 0 and 2, you're done, right? If you play on a team and you're not as good or whatever, and you're not the starter, but you're still getting rotational time over the course of 7, 8, 10 games, you're learning more and you're getting better by learning. You're watching people play and how the game's played and all that stuff. You learn more by even observing and being a part of a winning culture than you are by just being a starter.
Yep.
So, but you're right. I mean, winning changes a lot of that. If you're winning, it's easy to go along with it. And then, in college, I won a couple of intramural, softball things, played some church league ball in Marion. And then I started playing at Berline a little bit here and there, just league night type stuff, and played, a couple of the spring fling, before like the sanctioned stuff. I did that stuff. But I don't think that I started playing sanction ball until about 3 years ago. And so the last 3 years, I've really put in some work to get better and, really learn to, get better at my game. And, by all means, there's still a lot to improve on. But there's, I've put in a lot of work over the last couple of years, and my hitting shows for that. Now, my fielding is still, depends on the day. but, the hustle's there, the effort's there.
Right.
And, if you got a guy that's, not only it's just a positive atmosphere, so, I try to be a team guy, and like I said earlier, if I'm not hitting well and I'm not hitting, my job is no longer to figure out where to hit a ball. My job is from that point on to figure out how to motivate and keep everybody else positive so that we do win. Again, we win a couple of those games and maybe I'm not batting well in. By the time we get 2 or 3 games down the road, maybe I figured it out and now I'm hitting again and now I'm back in that rotation. And it's a balancing act, but it's also it's a team thing. Again, you're there, we only get to play this thing for so long. So if you're, I guess, to me, I mean, winning's important. It's that's why we play, right? You play to win, play to have fun. But it's I don't know. It's something that I've always enjoyed. I've always enjoyed baseball and softball and playing, and just the atmosphere at the ball field a lot of times is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Oh God, where's I just going to go with this? Okay, so what was that team you played for last year?
Which ones? I played on 2. I played on Smoking Clovers at the beginning of the year, and then I was on Ohio Prodigies at the end of the year.
Okay, maybe that's not the one I'm thinking for early either.
What happened? What were you?
Man, where was I going with it?
Were you talking about the Spiders team? Were you talking about the Spiders teams? Were you talking about the fight in Myrtle Beach? What are you talking about?
That one. All right, now that you brought that up, let's get to that one. Myrtle Beach. Fill us in there.
So
let's give the world your side of the story.
It sucks, and I had a lot. We had a lot of fun. Really, we had kind of the same thing with the headhunters. A lot of talent on the team, and a lot of good dudes on the team, and a lot of guys that I play with today.
Prodigy, right?
Ohio Prodigies, yeah, we're orange and blue, pinstripes. And we were doing well. I think that we won U-Trip States, I think is what we won. We won it last year. But we, halfway through the season or so, we really found we were finally rolling. And we went to Myrtle Beach on fire, played down there. I think we only had 10 guys in Myrtle Beach.
This was U-Trip or One Nation?
No, this was One Nation. We won U-Trip. One Nation, and Myrtle Beach was One Nation. Won the first game in a dog fight, won that one. And then we won a couple other ones. I think we were 2 or 3 wins in, and we were playing the 4th team, I think. And so we were 1 or 2 games out of being like winner bracket finals. Like, and we were rolling, and we were hitting the ball well. We're playing really well as a team. And 7th inning, we were I feel like we were down 1. Down 1
I think.
in the 7th or something like that. And we had like, the heart of our lineup coming up. It was we had the hitter, and then it was me and 2 other guys. And I think we had 1 out the entire day, like, between those 4 or 5 guys. So we were coming up, and we were going to score 2 or 3 runs. We'd all been smoking the ball. Wasn't worried about it. Their pitcher hit a ball middle. I'm sitting there talking to the catcher. Honestly, we were sitting there chit-chatting about whatever. And he hit. And I don't think it was intentional. I think he was just trying to bloop it over top of second base. Missed it, whatever.
I think I was there with.
It wasn't a full swing, though, is kind of and I remember that looking back on it. It wasn't like he tried to hit middle. We all know everybody's tried to hit middle at some point. I don't feel like he was trying to blow the pitcher up. Honestly, I think he was just trying to hit it far enough out of the infield to move people. But honestly, it wasn't a full swing. I'm going to say 70%, maybe, whatever. It hit Dustin on top of the helmet, bounced out, and then the guy goes to second base, and then words were exchanged, and I know our shortstop was coming over, and their bench was coming out, and I think Dustin was chirping with the guy that hit him, who was our pitcher.
Chirping with the catcher too.
No, I was talking to him. We were having a conversation. Okay, it was not. We were just talking. Shit. I didn't look at the video. I was just smiling. We were just carrying on, whatever. No issues. And we were sitting there talking to him. Now I did say something on the way out there, because I see their dugout come out, and then all of a sudden things get really congested.
Yeah.
And I think I started. You're right. I started saying something. Next thing I know, I see punches thrown. I'm like, "Fuck!" So we both of us take off running, and part way out there, I'm like, "Listen, motherfucker, I'm not out here to fight. Don't fucking hit me. don't fucking sucker punch me." I was, and he's like, "I'm not here to fight." So, and the thing is 99% of the guys, everybody was saying that's not why we're here. What are you doing? What the fuck is going on? And it was 2 or 3 people that were throwing punches, and it is what it is. It's I'm not gonna, everybody knows the the ins and outs, I guess, of that portion of it, but it is what it is.
It's softball and it's testosterone at the end of the day.
It's fucking stupid. I was, but it's we were, worst case scenario, we, you go to the loser bracket, and we run through that. I mean, like I said, we were rolling. Defensively, we're solid. Hitting the ball, we were all hitting the ball really well. We had no reason to do that. None. And
no one got ejected?
They ejected both teams.
Right.
Both teams out of the winter bracket finals, they kicked both of us out of the tournament completely.
Jeez.
And then we were stuck on that roster the rest of the year. So we were basically suspended for the end of 2022. So,
but that was in the fall, though, right?
It was in the fall. It was
October.
Oh, it was October, I think. Yeah.
Because I was there. I'm pretty sure I was there. I think.
You probably were.
I'm pretty sure I was there watching with. I think it was me, Austin, and I want to say Repco, but it might not be Repco. It might be Jake Travers, I think. And we're just like, what the fuck just happened?
Yep. Believe me, I was sitting there talking with the catcher, and again, we were. Even afterward, I know the Amish team, the United team.
And I remember you were screaming. You were fired up. Yeah.
Well, I was mad because I'm like, we all get to go home, and we have, I think I had $6,000 or $7,000 in that. I took the whole family.
Now you're ready to kill someone. Yeah.
I was pissed for a lot of reasons. One, I have all my kids there, so I have 6 kids that are, that are sitting out there watching that bullshit, and people know how to control their emotions. So it's setting a really shitty example for that. Secondly, it ruined my trip. I mean, it wasn't just my trip, but it ruined the whole thing. We were in the winners bracket, playing well, and so, but it is what it is. It's all water under the bridge at this point. But yeah, I was pissed. And a lot of guys were mad. There was a big falling out after that. I think a lot of people went their separate ways, and it is what it is.
Right. That's a good way to go out too. Going out winning.
Yeah. Go out winning.
You were in the winners bracket. You technically didn't lose.
Oh
so you
my
went
God!
Out.
Oh yeah. Well, and that was it. The team. I think Fairview won that whole thing, and we'd beaten Fairview before.
Right.
And they're good. They're a good team, but man, we were playing well. We'd have given them a run. We'd have given them hell. So, But it is what it is. You can't. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
So I consider that a loss.
Can't say I haven't gotten any tussles on the dirt.
Last fight I was in, I was 18, and I was in South Carolina, or 17, and that's the last. I boxed. Like I said, I boxed 3 years in college. I'm pretty good at conflict resolution and avoiding all that nonsense. So
every once
usually,
in a while that ain't.
Yeah, that's right. Look, shit gets chirpy sometimes. People talk, but
Wouldn't it be
usually
softball without it? Would it?
No, it wouldn't be. I mean, I talk shit just like everybody else does, but I'm not. I'm not
how
planning on.
somebody ends up getting afterwards, depending on what's said and whatever. And
That's right.
You need a kind-hearted, light note. Any way you want to look at it, you could be the nicest dude there, but they're gonna take it personal. At least somebody will at the end of the day.
Somebody, they just try to. It's just, and some people do it.
Someone usually crosses the line, though.
Somebody does cross the line. There's usually something, or you have a guy that knows his team is dead, and he gets pissed off about nothing. And I've done that. I've done that. People talk shit, whatever. They say something, and you get all frustrated, right? You start yelling in the dugout, pissed off, whatever. It motivates your team. You find fire that way. So it's if you can figure out a way to use that to be positive without fucking throwing punches and getting ejected and being suspended, figure out a way to do that. Find a way to fire guys. Put your plan on the field, and then winning at the end of the day is ultimately what matters. Who gives a shit? You can talk shit all day long, but if we win at the end of the day, who really won?
Right. That's what it's about.
It is.
So let's we got about 14 more minutes here. So let's shit. Spiders drafts. How many have you done so far that you seem to really enjoy? Must be a millionaire.
Must be a millionaire?
And things are fucking expensive, aren't they? Jesus.
No, they're not.
$550.
Oh, they are not. They're
Once
not.
you get that alumni code, you're good to go.
$250 is what they cost.
Okay, that's not. I mean, but shit.
So listen, hold on. So
that's usually a full team entry fee. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so listen. So with that, $250 up front, you get 2 tops, 3 bottoms, or 3 tops, 2 bottoms. I think it's 3 tops, 2 bottoms, a pair of batting gloves, and you get a hat.
I mean, that's that's some apparel.
And on top of that, how many tournaments do you walk away with, a lot of merchandise? I mean, really honest.
Yeah.
None. Right.
That's where usually doing those in the past, that's what gets me through softball for the year. 1 pair of batting gloves, good enough, move on. Hopefully they end up with standing for a while. And I'm sure you've seen from the past, they usually last a decent while.
Yeah. So last year I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I've done 6 of the Spider drafts, and I've got 2 more planned already. I got Nashville coming up, and then I got Dallas coming up as well that I'm playing in both. And I'm going to try to do Vegas this year. And I did Arizona, and I did the national championship in January already this year.
$2,500. You're a millionaire.
I'm not a millionaire yet, but it's coming.
Fucking chasing down possums and shit. Fuck, I'm working that board like an idiot.
Look, I got baby mamas. Otherwise, I'd tell you what this deal's worth. But but yeah, so for the Spiders draft thing, you pay $250 in to get in. For Nashville MC2, it was $250 to join that team to play. Played 7 games, rolled every team we played, and they are the most fun tournaments of any tournaments I've ever played. And it's not close. There's nothing else that compares. Zombie draft is the only thing that would come close, and Spider drafts are on it's a different scale. And I love the zombie draft, but it is a different scale. You have people that just do the Spider drafts, honestly, and you see the same couple hundred people, and there's a lot of new faces, whatever. Spider drafts are amazing, man. You meet so many new people all across the country, great ball players, some not so great ball players. You work as a team and you figure out a way to win. That Nashville team, I paid $250 plus hotel and all that other nonsense. Oh, yeah. But honestly, I walked away with more merchandise than I've walked away with any other merchandise than any of the other ones. And then on top of that, I got it's a bottle of liquor that was, custom. Then I got a custom bat which is one of 20. So I got a custom bat. I got batting gloves.
Yeah, there it is right there. There we go.
Yeah. So so you got a bat bag, a
The
custom
fucking
glove.
picture is just worth it alone, to be honest. I'd pay $250 for that picture. Look at that. Look at that
Correct.
fucking graffiti, fucking confetti in the background and shit. Wow.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And that's, and I've been a part of 2 of those teams now. I won Nashville, the MC2 there. Probably I would say probably the best team that I've ever played for. That team was stacked. I mean, stacked. We had conference level guys and our bad guys. I mean, but the thing is, it's a draft. It's all random.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Studs,
Yeah, me and Payton would end up getting the fucking worst. We'd get Team Green. They'd all be fucking shit cans. We just paid $250 to go 0-5. Thanks a lot, Spiders.
And so, but they do say because they have and so there are teams that aren't very good, and I've been a part of a couple of them. I've been 6 or 7 Spider drafts. 2 of them have been bad team wise. Just some organization stuff, and then other ones were just we just didn't figure out a way to connect. There just wasn't a lot of talent on the team, right? But they have doghouse brackets, is what they call it. And so if you go 0-3, you go into a doghouse bracket. And so in that doghouse bracket, they're taking all the teams that are 0-3, and you play each other. So you're playing equal competition. There's always a better team, right? But you're playing, on the same playing field. You're not playing an E team versus a C team anymore. Now everybody's playing E, or everybody's, whatever. It might be rec, but and some of the teams are, they're rough. But
that can last all day too. That toilet bowl bracket, that could be
that
the last day all day
long. It still goes to Sunday, and they still win shit at the end. Fuck, you can win $700 or $800 in the doghouse bracket and stuff. And
per person?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
The bat bags plus a bat. And again, I got for the Nashville. So we won the whole thing. We got a bottle of whiskey, I don't remember which one it was, a platinum edition, something. A couple $100 for that. It was a bat bag, a brand new custom glove, a brand new pure bat. That was, again, it's one of 20. So there's only 20 of them made.
That's some good payout.
And then you got batting gloves, and then the memories again, which is, memorabilia is cool and all, but honestly, it's the memories and shit you make. And again, you can't beat that. But so you go down there and you play, and not only do you play, with just, your team, but the whole environment is fun. Everybody is down there for a good time. Ed Alf has figured it the fuck out on that aspect. It is bar none the best, and you'll have a hard time ever convincing me otherwise. The atmosphere is fun as shit. They do a get together, like they do, everybody gets, whether it's a bar, whether it's a beach outing, whatever. They have all these people get together, and it's a fucking party, man. And it isn't necessarily just getting smashed. It ain't like you're getting out there and you're just drinking drunk. It is just a fun time. And they do dances, they do prizes, they do. The amount. It is the most fun you'll ever have on a tournament. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. Honestly, it is by far the most fun you'll ever play ball.
And doing them enough times too, you end up seeing the same people. I've seen it before too. You make buddies with the dude that's the home run derby champion because the one guy you might be staying with is friends with him or on his team or whatever. So you end up all getting to know and BS with each other along the way.
Yep. And so in the home run derbies, I've done well over the last couple of years. I think I've come in second 4 times. But all of those guys are friends now. Every one of them. I talk to them here and there, a couple times a year here and there, whatever I see them on Facebook, I'll tag them, whatever. But honestly, you meet people. I know people all over the country because of it. Every fucking state. Really. I know people from, there's a girl that was on my Spiders draft team. She's from Ontario, Canada, I think. Way the fuck out there, right? We had a great fucking time. And some of the other guys, there's guys on the East Coast and West Coast and South. And you do, all of a sudden, you do 6 or 7 tournaments like that, and you have people all over the country that play. Fuck, I got invited to go play in Delaware last year on a couple teams on people that I met at Spiders Draft. They're like, hey, you want to come play ball this weekend? Okay.
Right. You were out there?
Well, I didn't get to go to that one, but I get invited to that kind of stuff. I got invited to go out to California. There's a girl that I played with in Arizona this year she owns a vineyard. She's having problems with coyotes, and she's like, "Come on out." We'll put you up. You can hunt coyotes. You can do this. You can do that. You can play ball with us. Come out here, spend a week. You and your wife or whatever. And, we'll come out and hang out and have fun. And so that's something that that may happen. But,
so that's a paid job, and you're gonna get to go play softball. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you can get the Coyotes to pay for your ball, then you're in there, bro.
Correct. I mean, so Nashville, I don't think we won very much money in Nashville, but for the national championship that it automatically put me into, we won $20,000.
Oh, that's awesome.
20,000 as a team, so we got like $1,800 a person.
What the?
Yeah.
What?
$20,000 on top of all the other shit that you won.
Yeah, but you're hoping and praying that you get on that stacked team, though. If you don't get that stacked team,
but if you're doing 5 or 6,
you're on Team Green, you're going to be fucking just getting a pair of socks and I'm going home.
So be real honest with me. Do you play softball for money or first because it's fun? Exactly.
I don't. Yeah, it's definitely not for money. Because there ain't much money anyway. We don't even. It ain't even money. It's like we get a state bid or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Exactly my point. And so I mean, how many? And I sponsor some tournaments here and there around Ohio. But honestly, if you do win money in a tournament, I mean, I don't even know what Mojo is. But honestly, just say it's $2,000 as Mojo. What does $2,000 do to a 16 or 17 man roster?
I mean.
Your entry fee,
like 8 tournaments.
Your entry fee, and maybe parking passes for everybody.
Right.
Really honest. I mean, look, we don't play the game to win money. We play the game to win because we love the game. It isn't for the money. And look, I mean, if you can, if you're good enough where you can
want
play
the jewelry.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's all about bragging rights at the end of the day. It's all about so, but it's fun. It's a good time. But yeah, Spider Drafts, highly recommend. I hope Ed Alf sees this. I'm gonna actually send this to him so that maybe I get a discount on my next tournament. So, but yeah, so.
Hell yeah, right on.
Well, Brett, before we end up letting you go, is there any social media you want to end up plugging for yourself? I mean, you got your own business. Feel free to plug it here when you can.
All right. I just do pest control and nuisance wildlife. So it's Mandau's Pest Solutions. I cover all of Central Ohio, and actually now I'm doing the East Coast as well. So I'm going to do Virginia, Massachusetts, Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and working our way into Kentucky and Tennessee. So that's long term. That's the goal. We're branching out. We're growing. And, so if you, all your pest control and wildlife needs. And so if you have anything that you want help with taking care of, hit me up, Facebook, cell phone. I mean, my number's all over the place. So,
I mean, it's on the side of your truck after all. I've seen it enough times.
Oh, that's it. I mean, look at that. I mean, the trucks are hard to miss, but it's a
But on that note, Adam, do you have anything else to add at all?
No. I mean, that's about it. I mean, we had to cut a little short there for Brett, so maybe you have to bring him back for another one in the future.
I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm sure we can find something to talk about.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to be in another upcoming Spiders draft that we could talk about and see you win some more gear, money.
I love it.
Confetti.
I love it. So I'll be in Cincy this weekend. So,
yeah. Well, good luck.
I'm sure everybody wants to know: is there any new sweet tights we should be expecting to see on a field near us?
That's to be determined. But yes, if you can always expect me out there in the tightest, most obnoxious leggings. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Woo! So it's funny. Our girlfriend Kendra and I, we started buying, like, she, obviously sees what I'm wearing. She's like, oh my God, they're crazy, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm, kind of hard to keep up with. That's probably my biggest red flag if I have one. It's like, yeah, I'm a million miles a minute all the time. Go, 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 go. So she went all in, and we bought matching tights this year. So we wear, leopard print, cow print. She loves cows, so we bought cow print. And they're fucking bell bottoms. So they look ridiculous, but they're fun as shit, man.
That's awesome.
They're fun, and honestly, so the reason I started wearing them, sweats are hot as shit. I hate sweating, and I'm not sliding in shorts. I'm not doing it. And so I wore leopard print for the zombie draft just to be funny. And I slid. I'm like, you know what? These are fucking comfortable. They breathe. And I can slide in them and not have a strawberry like a motherfucker the next day. So I'm like, you know what? I kind of found it. And so they kind of stuck with it. But yeah, I have a couple more that are, they'll come out.
Oh yeah. Looking forward to those, brother.
Well,
Yeah.
Brett, thanks for joining us once again. We appreciate it. We'll have to end up having you back on next time in the near future, 100%. Good luck this weekend. Like you said, you're going to be out playing. Good luck. Good luck, Adam, to you as well, and good luck to anybody playing softball this weekend. It's actually looking like a nice weather weekend for once, especially
Finally,
with snow and rain.
not rain.
This past week.
No shit.
So,
I got canceled both my tournaments this past weekend. So,
yeah.
but yeah, hey, good luck, guys. I enjoyed it. You know, have me on again sometime. We'll talk about something fun like bed bugs or skunks.
It doesn't even have to be softball related.
No, I got videos of me grabbing skunks with my bare hands. So anytime you guys want to,
just one of those. Fuck.
look, you want an adrenaline rush. Pitching ain't it. Grabbing skunks barehanded is where it's at. And I got videos to back
like a
it up.
girl and run. Oh
You know,
man,
I got videos to prove it.
I never doubted it.
So, all right, guys.
All right,
grab
bye.
dog food.
All right, well, until next time then, right?
Yep. Have a good day, guys. We'll see
We'll
you.
see you soon, Brett. And that, guys, we'll see you guys next week sometime. Stay tuned to the We Like Softball podcast. Obviously, there might not be a set day yet. Adam and I are going to end up figuring it out together. Regardless, though, whenever it's live, the next day, for example, tomorrow at Thursday at 8 a.m., the podcast version will be out. You have Brett's interview all along this whole entire episode. And just stay tuned. Check us out on social media, whether it's my personal social media, Adam's, the We Like Sports Podcast Facebook page, the We Like Sports Podcast Twitter, which is We Like Sports PC, or even the website too. So just stay tuned. We're not going anywhere necessarily. It's just going to be a difficult ride along the way.
Shout out to John Sweeney, the only commenter in the video today.
Hey, you also had Anthony in there as well.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. He was being racist.
All right. Well, on that note,
God dang tone.
we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in to the We Like Softball podcast.
Peace.